Hi guys, hey, I thought I would do a video that's really popular right now, or was a few months ago. I'm a little late to the game, but this is baby names I love. No, I'm not expecting a child, not even close to that. But this is like a really popular video from everyone. I feel like a lot of people are doing baby names I love but will be using. I have no idea what names I'll be using, but this has been my list for ages. Like, I've had this list going since high school. I don't know, I just didn't want to forget, I guess. I have a lot more boys names than girls names just because I end up liking boys names better. I don't really know why. Let's get started. So we're gonna do boys first just because that's the order I have it in, and B comes before G. That's pretty much. But yeah, the first boy's name that I picked first, that was my favorite name through middle school, high school, everything was Matthew. I just love it. I don't know if it's like because it's from the Bible, I don't know, but I just love the name Matthew. I just think it's so strong, and I don't know, like, I don't really like the name Matt as much. The nickname, I feel like if I had a son named Matthew, I'd want to call him Matthew. Next is Cole, which is definitely because of Charmed, 100%. Just Cole's like my favorite. I loved him. Every time I rewatch the show, it's really hard for me to get through every season after he's not in it anymore. I just really, really love that name. And I would totally think that a boy named Cole, from baby to grown up, would be great. I think that's such a cool name. Next is kind of boring and definitely very popular now. Maybe when I have a kid it won't be, but this is a name I probably won't use, which is Aiden. I really like it. I think Aiden is such a cute name. I do kind of feel like because it was in Sex and the City, it kind of like throws me off a little. But I also just feel like it's way too common now. There's so many Aidens, so I just feel like it's too common. I want my kid to have a name that's a little bit more unique, is easily pronounceable, but it's just like a little bit more unique, I guess. And the next one, of course, as I say, I want unique names, is like the most basic name, and that's James. I just think James is a gorgeous name. I actually have it on my girl list as well. I just love the name James, and if it was a boy, I would want to nickname them Jamie. I just think James is such a strong, traditional name, and although it's so traditional and like it's not super rare, I do feel like you don't hear it as much lately. Next for boy would be Brad, or Bradley. My brother's name is Brad, and I just love that name. I don't know why. I just think it's such a nice name, and I don't hear it very often. I feel like a baby named Bradley is just adorable. It's just really not that common, but it's like common enough that you'd never pronounce it wrong. And then one that I guess is sort of because of Vampire Diaries, and that's Damon. I never used to like the name Damon before Vampire Diaries, so I guess it is because of that. Ever since Vampire Diaries, I fell in love with the name. So I don't know that I would use that name necessarily, just because I feel like it would be like, oh, you're naming your kid after Vampire Diaries, and like it wouldn't be after that. It's just because that made me like the name, if that makes sense. Next is a really great one, that's Ford. I think that's a really cool name. I don't think I've ever met anyone named Ford because their first name, I think it's like a last name. I think Ford would be a really cool name. Another one that I really like, and yes, it's, and again from Vampire Diaries, but Stefan. I just think it's so much better than Steven. I don't know, it's like a little more traditional, old-fashioned. I love old-fashioned names. A name that you would meet like an old man, I feel like that works really well on baby boys. But I really like names Stefan or Damon. I think I'd be more likely to use Stefan than Damon, even though I like Damon better than Stefan on Vampire Diaries. Another one I really like that I also feel like is too common now, that I probably wouldn't use just because it's so common, is Ethan. I always loved the name Ethan. Again, I think that it's really common now, so I probably wouldn't use it. Next is Logan, and I don't know why I've always liked that name. Like, half of me doesn't like it because it sounds like a real a-hole from a frat or something. Like, it does. It sounds kind of like a kid who's wearing a polo and like plaid like pastel shorts. Like, it kind of sounds like that. But I do like the name Logan anyway. But I don't, again, I think that's a name I really like, but I wouldn't use it. Next is Charlie. I love that name. I think it's from the Santa Claus. I think that's why I like it so much. Santa Claus is my all-time favorite movies, and I totally had a crush on Charlie in the second one, where he's like a teenager, because that's the age I was then. And I love the name Charlie. I like Charles. Like, it's a nice strong name, but I feel like Charlie is like a cute name, and I feel like you could need an old man named Charlie, or a baby, or like a regular aged person. Next is from Charmed again, but I love the name, and that's Wyatt. I know a lot of people now, I feel like it's a common girl's name. I've seen a lot of celebrities name their babies Wyatt as a girl. I think, isn't that Mila Kunis's daughter's name? I might be wrong. But Wyatt, I just love it. It's definitely because of Charmed, like 100%. I'm not hiding that. Totally, if someone said like, oh, did you name your baby after Charmed? I'd be like, yeah, I did. I just like the name Wyatt is so like old-fashioned, but also very rare. Next is Noah, and although it is very The Notebook esque. I just love the name Noah. I do think it's pretty common now. I think I've seen a lot of preschools have the name Noah around, but I again really love it, and like I probably would use the name Noah, but I'd be more hesitant. Like it'd be on my list, but it wouldn't be my #1 choice. Next is Carter. I really like that name. I love it as a last name, but obviously that's not my last name, and I doubt I'll meet someone with the last name Carter, so I feel like a first name is Carter would be really, really cute. It's again a bit more like, I feel like a little bit of like a frat boy name, but I feel like if you make it work, it'll work. You just have to raise your kid the right way to make the name his own. Next is my favorite, and that's Jackson. And you could obviously name them Jack, like, or nickname them Jack, but I think the name Jackson is so like strong. It's a bit more traditional and unique, and even Jack, I don't know that many people named Jack, so I do feel like although it's such a common name, it's not that common at the same time. Next is Grayson, which was a name that I've been loving for a long time, but I'm leaning away from it more and more because again, it is very common. I feel like it's overused. I just want my kid to like have a name that's so like kind of common, but also like, oh my god, I haven't heard that name in a while, rather than like there's 3 kids in the class with that name. Like, I don't know why. Next is Jared. Jared, I feel like is a little bit more different than like Justin or Jason, but I do feel like people think because I like Supernatural so much that I'm naming my child after Jared Padalecki, which is fine. Like I don't have a problem with that, but I don't know that I would pick the name Jared. I really do like it, but again, it's like not my top choice. Next is Dean, and Dean might be up there. I love Dean from Supernatural. Like I would totally admit that I was naming my child after Dean from Supernatural, but then there's like Dean from Gilmore Girls, which ends up being played by Jared Padalecki. It's very confusing. But I do like the name Dean, but I feel like that could also be the name of like a-hole from a frat, so I don't know. Next is Cooper, which is one of my all-time favorite names, but I like last names as first names, if you couldn't tell. Next is Corey, and I feel like half that is because of Corey and Topanga from Boy Meets World, but I just love the name Corey. There is a guy I knew who I almost dated named Corey, and that does kind of bother me, but I didn't know him that well, so I feel like I can overlook it. Next is Connor, which again is like really common now, so I probably wouldn't pick that, but I do really like the name Connor. It's so cute. I have so many more on this list. I feel bad. You guys are probably like, this is so boring. After Connor is Hudson. Hudson is a great name. I would totally pick that. I feel like that would be like right up there on my list. I do feel like it might be a little bit common now, but if I waited a few years, it might not be that common like for that year. But I do like the name Hudson. Harley is another one I really, really like. That was a loud bird. But I like the name Harley. Don't know that I would pick Harley as much as I would pick Hudson. Next is Harrison. Oh my god, I love the name Harrison. Even Harry, like I know it kind of sounds weird, but I love the name Harrison for anyone. I think it's from Harrison Ford. I love Harrison Ford. Maybe that's why I picked Ford too. I would think of Harrison as a baby is so cute, and then like an adult person named Harrison is like really classy. Leo is a really great name. I think it's great. I think it's strong, it's short, it's simple, it's classic. Next is Adam. I never liked the name Adam. Like, not like I never liked it, I just kind of was like, whatever, it's Adam. The more I hear it, the more I like it. It's a very simple name, nothing too crazy out there, but it's definitely not as common as you'd think. Right after Adam comes Wells, which is a name I never heard until Wells Adams from The Bachelorette. I really like him, first of all. Like, I just really like him, but the name Wells is so cool. Like, you're never gonna mispronounce that, but it's so cool. Like, that's just like, if you had a kid and you named them Wells, like, you know that kid's gonna be cool. That's just like how I feel about that. And then one is Graham, and I think that's because of, what's that movie, The Holiday? I just love the name Graham. I think that's awesome. Think of like a little baby named Graham. Like, oh my god, it's so cute. A graham cracker, literally, for every reason, the name Graham is adorable. Next is Reed. I love the name Reed. It's actually a good friend of mine's last name, and I love it. I think Reed is such a strong name, unique, obviously easily pronounceable, and because Joseph is a really common name in my family, I would probably name them like Reed Joseph, call them just Reed, but their middle name would be Joseph. I just think it was just really nice and traditional, classic, but unique at the same time. Reed is a great name. That's like right on the top of my list. I would 100% name my kid Reed. I love it. Next is Elijah, kind of from the originals, but not really. I feel like when I first heard the name on the original, I wasn't so crazy about it, and it's not because of the originals, but I just feel like I just love the name Elijah. I think that's so classic and like old school. Two more. One is William, but I would call them Liam, so it wouldn't be Will. I mean, Will's fine too, but I prefer Liam, but at the same time, like, Liam is so common now, so I want to call them William and not Liam. And the last one is Seth, which isn't from Seth Cohen at all. I do really like the name Seth, but I think my number one on my list would be Harrison, Ford, and Reed. I really love those names. Let me know what you think about my boys' names, and we'll just do girls. I'm gonna skip the pet names because this video will be way too long. For girls' names, my first one on the list is Madison, but I'd call her Maddie. I just think Madison is a really nice name. I'm not sure why, maybe it's because that movie Splash. I can't remember. I do really like the name Madison. I love names like that. It's kind of like a last name, you know what I mean? Next, I want to delete this off my list, is Kylie. Just because I made this list before Kylie Jenner was a thing, and now that she is, it's like ruins it for me. Next is Scarlett, and that's Scarlett O'Hara for sure. That's why I picked that name. I do feel like people think that name, like, I feel like there's a lot of connotations with the name Scarlett, but I really love the name anyway. One of my favorite ones is Beverly, and I don't know why. Maybe from like Beverly Cleary, I have no idea. I love the name Beverly, but I don't like the name Bev. Like, ew, no. If I had a child named Beverly and someone started calling her Bev, I'd be like, no, she's not Edie. Next is Natalie. Love that name. I just think it's very classic, basic, simple, nothing crazy, but I do really like it. It's nothing I'd get so excited about though. Next is my favorite, I think. I almost don't even want to say it because like I don't want people stealing it. It's not so rare though, and that's Juliet, and it's not after Romeo and Juliet, it's after Jules from Psych, which is really bad, but I'd love to have a child, name her Juliet. I think it's so beautiful, classic, obviously it's Shakespearean. I study a lot of Shakespeare. I just love the name Juliet so much. It's so romantic, and then calling her Jules, I just think that would be so cute. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. And the next is another one of my favorites, so these are my two favorites. So one would be Juliet, one would be Camille. I'm calling her Cam. I just think that's so nice. The name Camille is beautiful. And not Camilla, but like Camille. And I just think that's so nice. I really like it a lot. And then calling her Cam is really simple and easy. I just really like it. And then next is Darcy. I like it. It's super cute, but I do feel like when she's older, she's not gonna like it. So I'm not sure if I would pick that. One I feel like is Fiona. I really love that name. Kind of from Shameless, although she's not a great like role model. I just like really like that character. And I love the name Fiona. It's really great and beautiful. Also from Shrek. And then one I really like, which I probably wouldn't pick just because it's so rare, and that's Adeline. And I know people think, ew, that's such a weird name, but it is from The Age of Adeline with Blake Lively, and I love that movie. It's like one of my all-time favorite movies, and I think the name Della for short for Adeline would be great. People wouldn't automatically do that. I'd have to do it, like start it off. Adeline is a beautiful, unique, old name, and I just think it's amazing, but I don't know that it's what I would name my kid just because it's so rare, but I might. Like, it depends how I feel once I have a kid. James for girl, love James for girl, love James for boy. Almost want to have a boy and a girl named them both James. That would get so confusing, but I love the name James for girl. I think it's amazing. That is definitely on my list. And then Natasha, I do like, but I do feel like every Natasha I've ever met, I do like the name Natasha. Like, there's some celebrities named Natasha I like, but I don't think I would name my kid it. More Davina, which is from the originals, yes, but I do really like it. Like, the more I hear it, Davina, I think it's really cool. Again, it's very rare, so I don't know that I would completely pick it. You guys can tell I like a name that's very rare but not too rare, if that makes sense. And then Nina, and that's not after Nina Dobrev actually. I just really like the name Nina. I think it's simple, short, sweet, but also not super common. So that's my last one. I hope you guys liked my list. Let me know which one of these names was your favorite. Let me know if you want me to do the pet version, like pet names I love. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to see more from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!